Okay, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
All
So,
right.
Osman, we've been talking about this for a few days that, how do you introduce real estate to your kids? How do you introduce the concept of investing or just the idea of real estate? How would we do that for
Yeah,
our kids?
so that they can become, savvy investors,
And,
savvy
it's
real
a
estate
hot
owners
topic.
at the end of the
It's a
day.
hot topic.
Yeah,
Everybody and anybody in the world,
yeah,
especially in Toronto, everybody real estate. Everybody's a real estate maestro here.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
let's. What would you tell Kabir and Lena? Um, what would you tell them?
Yeah,
Where do we
so
start?
I think there are a few tips that I think we can talk about. I think the number one thing that everybody should be talking about is savings,
Yeah.
right? Um, you know, Back in the day, you could buy a house for like 0% down. I think it was very common in the States. But, that's probably not the most appropriate approach when it comes to buying real estate.
Yeah, that's not
Um,
smart.
so at a very young age, I think if you give that concept of savings to your kids, I think they'll over time they'll have a better understanding of what it means to actually invest in real estate as well, or become a real estate owner.
And
Uh,
saving, it's not just saving. I think
yeah,
saving with an intention.
absolutely, yeah,
Intention of
yeah.
whatever that intention is. It should be a saving with the intention of something.
Yeah, recently I was reading somewhere that you should make some categories when you teach your kids about savings. Tell them there's a component which is about giving, there's a component which is about saving, then there's a component about investing, and then finally there's a component
For spending.
for spending because the kids they still want to spend money in video games and other things that they like.
Mm-hmm.
So that's important.
That's
What
it.
else? I
Then
think you have to make it a little bit fun.
yeah,
When you teach your kids about anything, I think real
rewarding.
estate is one of those things as well,
Yeah.
right?
I think that same article, like you and I were discussing the other day, and I really liked it the way he said that, at the end of the week, when you've had a busy week,
Yeah,
you take your kids out for an ice cream and tell them that, it was a good week, we worked hard. And, I
yeah,
think that's the kind of reward that they'll see,
yeah.
especially being realtor kids.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think they need to understand the concept of budgeting a little bit as well,
Oh,
because when you
absolutely.
become a real estate investor or an owner, especially if you buy real estate for making money, you have to understand the concept of revenue minus expenses. So again, it might be a little bit tough at a young age, but as they grow, I think you can start introducing the concepts to them that hey, whatever money that you make, there's going to be some expenditures that are going to sort of lead you into building hopefully some kind of a positive cash flow.
And I think one thing that we practice is that we do take our kids along when we're going for work.
Yeah.
They've been to our office. They've come for showings. They've come
Sometimes we
for
turn on the speakerphone to have them listen to our
our
conversations with our
conversations
clients.
because they're learning. They're learning how when we're talking to contractors, when we're talking to tradespeople, our
Yeah,
stager, our kids have met the stagers, have met the contractors,
yeah,
and been to visits to the house. So I think that's a very good point. I think in general they'll be set for life to deal with different
yeah,
kinds of people.
yeah. And I think finally they need to understand that it's not always sexy to be a real estate owner
Yeah.
or an investor. We do, I think, a lot of the dirty work
Mm-hmm.
behind the scenes when we go out and actually sell or buy real estate. We have done, cleaning the carpets. We do toilet cleanings. I
Good to
was just
know.
there at one of my properties, and I realized right before the showing, I went into the property and I realized that the toilet needed a little bit of help.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah.
So
No, they've
things that we got to
said.
do.
Uh,
That probably a lot of people don't see, but
yeah, just
behind the
bring them
scenes, a lot of
along.
that
Bring
stuff
them
happens.
along the journey, and I
Yeah.
know they will learn a lot.
Okay. I think
Well,
that's pretty much. I'm not sure there's a lot more, but I think these are some sort of high level tips
I think so
that
too.
I would at least teach my kids if they're ready to listen to me.
Our kids, not just yours. Okay,
All right.
bye.
That's